How would you like to see some adventures and dishes from Peru and Argentina? How would you like to see some shots of the lovely Mother Nature as well as the amateur's best attempt at the rules of thirds, emotional lines, framing, etc.? Wouldn't you love to hear about how to make carne asada? Today's guest will talk about all this and share some pictures of his beautiful family as well as teach us a few things that you may find interesting if you've never taken a film and TV class. The Humanities Mass Communications Department at Norwalk Community College presents The New Directors, the show that introduces you to television's future writers, directors, and personalities. And now join our host, Julie Mamolidi, to meet the next new director.
Thank you for joining us for today's edition of The New Directors. All of the people involved with this program are students in the television production course and are directing, switching, controlling audio, operating cameras, and acting as talent for the first time today. The guests you will meet on the show are students who, when not on camera, are behind the scenes working hard to bring you this program with as few mistakes as possible. Each student has written and directed 4 different productions. This program will give them the chance to talk about themselves and the productions they've created, and give you the chance to get to know them and enjoy some of the work they've done during the semester. Our guest today is a baseball athlete and also has recently traveled to Peru and Argentina, where he went to visit family and learn more about his culture's background. We would like you to meet today's guest, Renzo Pablo.
Hello.
So, we know that you're a baseball enthusiast and had the opportunity to take a trip to South America. Please tell us more about your recent trips.
I went to Peru and Argentina this past summer to meet up with family that I haven't seen in 2 years, and I don't remember. And the temperatures there are usually temperate, so it's around 65 degrees, and people usually wear t-shirts and shorts. And I enjoyed some food there. All the beaches and tours are great. And I had some fun time going to beaches and tours.
That's nice.
Mm-hmm. On screen, you can see a shot I took from the airplane that I thought looked pretty cool. And see the clouds there. I thought it was a really nice shot. Yeah.
Probably up in the mountains.
Yeah, probably. This picture is at a beach called Lima, Parque de los Novios, which translates to Lovers Park. There's quite a few tourists in the back there that came along with me on the tour bus. And then here's a shot that I took while on the tour bus. And I like this landscape shot. It shows dimension. The waves are also sounded so peaceful. It made me fall asleep on the tour bus. And here's a panoramic shot that took me quite a few times to do on the iPhone. And on the street level, there's tennis courts, many restaurants, gift shops you can go visit, which would be perfect to go on a little date. This picture is here. It has some framing in it, and I thought it was interesting because at the time that I took this, I didn't know what that was. And then I included this picture here that shows dimensions with bridges and the building in the background. And then the next shot is also a bridge that I thought was pretty cool at the beach. And then this is a cute water attraction that I noticed also had sea lions that we learned in class. And then this shows a tree that has lines coming from the center, which also represents a line of joy, which I didn't know at the time as well. Then we have some cool lights with water. This is me fishing to get ceviche, which is a Peruvian dish. Yeah. And then here we have, in the white plate, there's a raw cut-up fish with onions, potatoes, spices, and lemon juice. This is me in Argentina making carne asada, which I thought would be hard, but it's just burning meat over charcoal with a lot of salt. Here's me with my family walking down the street with my aunts. This is me and my mother on the bridge. And here's a cool video that happened at a parade. It's a short water show.
Oh, that's really cool.
Mm-hmm. What am I supposed to say? I think you're supposed to ask the question.
Could you tell us why you decided to take the film and TV production courses?
I honestly took it as an elective to try it out. Thought it would be fun. The more I learned about it, the more I was interested to go out and take shots on my own. And I didn't know this class would open the doors up to new experiences. And now when I go out, I know that I can follow some rules or guidelines when I take a photo. I like which is fine, but in class has shown me way more than I would have ever expected from this class.
Nice. What are some of the most useful things you learned in the course?
I learned how important the rules of third is and how it shows on the camera, the grid, on the display so it can help you out when you take pictures. I also learned how to use framing, and then I saw geometric shapes out in nature. I learned that if you turn up the ISO, I learned about high ISO and it can give you a grainier effect, you know, and then it's called noise. The grain that you see is called noise. There's plenty of light. Feel free to lower the ISO to minimize the noise. I learned to create storyboards to tell a picture, or to tell my film in picture form. I used Avid, using in and outs. I learned how to use the equalizer mixer, which helps you lower the volume, and you usually want to keep it within the yellow range. I also learned how to make titles, how to do transition and fades, but most importantly, we all learned how to work in the studio using the teleprompter, Avid operator, soundboard, CG operator, how to focus on the cameras, technical director, and the hardest of all, directing.
Yes. So for your graded projects, it will be about Student Studies, Teacup Project, New England, and the Fall Orange Project. Tell us a little bit about those.
I'll start with the Teacup project I did, which is basically I had to bribe my friend to act because he was too shy. I created a storyboard and I had a shot list, and I also drew out a map so I can place out my cameras where I wanted them to be. I used the basic camera techniques that we all started off with at the beginning of the class. It had a couple close-up shots on the hand, which he made tea and cabinets he opened with. There was medium shots and also medium long shots, but mine didn't come out as good because I have a smaller kitchen. I also felt that the cuts were smooth and didn't look too choppy. I tried my best to frame them up perfectly. Second, this was my student studies project. I used a pre-made script, which helped me out a lot because at the time of filming it, I was lost. I also used titles in this project at the end as an outro. I used my knowledge of rule of thirds in the short film for the first time. I used the grid on my camera's rear display, close-ups to convey action and emotion, and I did a lot of fast cutting on action to keep the story moving. This was filmed at the NCC library, by the way. Next is my nature project. In this project, I went to NCC parking lot, and I also went to a park down Connecticut Ave near Trader Joe's. I used framing, emotional lines. You could see some S lines and C lines in there, and framing techniques in this project. I used zoom in and outs, poor man's dissolve, which is pretty hard to achieve in rack focus, which I feel brings out more intensity into the shot. I like the clips our professor used to show us an example when he realized his drink was poisoned. This was one of my favorite projects to do. Finally, my orange project. My friend from the Teacup project is back with a lot less shyness, as you can tell by his acting. I included dimensions using the seats to make it appear as if the classroom was bigger. I also included some poor man's dissolve with my own twist, so it seems like he was a bit tired. And I also included some shots on the floor to make it more creative. Yeah, he's running along there.
Those are all really good.
Thank you.
So out of those 4 projects, there must be one that you really had a good time doing and that shows off your skills. Can you tell us a little bit more about that one?
Yeah, I feel like my nature project was my best project because it includes many shots using the 6 guidelines of composition. It definitely stands out because my other projects aren't as eye-catching as this one. I played around with the ISO and the f-stop to allow less light or more if I needed so. I enjoyed the journey of learning how to do a rack focus and poor man's dissolve. It took a while, but was for sure worth it because it looked good. It was the most satisfying. Looking for the perfect shots to express emotional lines was enticing because I wasn't sure which tree I thought looked better to shoot or what angle showed depth. It was worth it.
I like your music.
Thank you. It's a guitar.
They're all really good shots.
Yeah, those are my vertical lines there. And then here I use the lines of joy.
You said this was in NCC parking lot?
Yep.
Nice. So you mentioned a variety of things that you've learned in this course. What is the most interesting and important skills, and how will you put them to use?
I would like to continue taking pictures as I go on my trips, and one of the trips I would like to go to is Japan and Dubai, and maybe when I go there I can use some of the stuff I learned here. And then the editing skills I learned would be useful in the future to show people where I've been in a short film that I could create and just show them where I've done, what I've been up to so far. But I think the most important thing I learned was how to compose a video with a shot list, editing list, storyboard, and to make it more proper and not so much random.
Nice, that's really cool.
Thank you.
Today we got to meet someone who shared with us a variety of locations he visited while on his vacation. As new TV director, he hopes to apply what he has learned here at NCC to compose better pictures and films of his travels. He also plans to use the new knowledge from TV1 to share some of what he has learned with his friends. We'd like to thank Renzo Pablo for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. We hope you enjoyed meeting one of television's future directors, and we hope you will continue to join us each week to watch our progress. Thank you and have a great day.